Hey, what's going on, guys? We're back. Week 2 of NFL 2022 season predictions. It was a very, very interesting week last week. First game of the year and whatnot. First games of the year for every team, so a lot of teams were experimenting and getting crazy with it. So, let's look at my stats from last week. Pull it up right here. Went 9-6-1. Not too bad. Not too bad. Playoff caliber. Like Pittsburgh Steelers made it at 9-7-1 last year, so I think I'd be pretty good at 9-6-1 every single week. We had a tie. Even after the overtime rule changes, we had a tie. And then we had almost 2 ties, actually, with the Steelers and the Bengals. I had to look at the list really quick. Steelers and Bengals had a tie. Almost a tie. Very close to a tie. It was not actually a tie. The Colts and Texans were a tie, though. Thoughts on some of the games, though? We'll start with Giants and Saquon. Like I said, I know I did not choose the Giants last week. I know I didn't. I just didn't have faith in them. I really did not. But they looked good. They looked really good. Titans did not look good. Should the Giants have won that game? Really? I'm so happy they went for 2. I was saying, I had some friends here, and I was saying as they were driving down, I was like, if you score here, you got to go for 2. Like, I said it. You got to go for 2. Something you just you should. And they did. They went for 2, and it paid off, and Saquon carried that team to victory single-handedly. Other games here, let me look here. 49ers did not look good. They didn't have George Kittle, to be fair. Vikings looked really good. Justin Jefferson looks like the truth. It's only one game, though. We're overreacting. Who knows? Like Broncos, Seahawks, Broncos didn't look too good, but maybe Seahawks are pretty good. Who knows? But yeah, so 9-6-1. Dak Prescott's injured too for the Cowboys. That's not good. We'll see what happens with him. He's apparently not going on IR. He's going to miss 4 weeks. I don't know. It's a whole thing. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens with them. I don't think the Cowboys will. This is a real dagger into the season for them. Eagles looked pretty good. Lions looked really good, too, in that game. That game was a shootout. Browns, Panthers, apparently, I didn't look into it enough, but apparently the Browns got away with one with, a call that was missed or something like that. I don't know that whole story. But apparently they got away with one, and then Panthers should have won that game. I didn't pay attention to what happened with there's a missed flag or something like that. I don't know. Saints, Falcons. Falcons looked really, really good. I thought the Saints were going to destroy them, but they did not. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Falcons should have won the game. They're lining up for the game-winning field goal, and they got blocked. So great job by the special teams, by the Saints, to block that game-winning field goal. Michael Thomas looks good. I drafted him in fantasy, so I was very happy that he did pretty good. But yeah, so with that, we will hide that, and we'll show you the Week 2 games. So it's starting off Thursday night, right up here. This tonight's game, I guess. I'm going to upload this on Thursday morning. We got Chargers versus Chiefs Thursday night. Keenan Allen apparently is not playing. Has a hamstring injury or something like that. I don't know the whole story. Regardless, it's the Chiefs. It's at home. It's the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs. As much as I want to take the Chargers. I do like the Chargers this year. They do look pretty good. Give me the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs over the Chargers. Next up, we got the Dolphins versus the Ravens. I'm trying to figure this out still. There we go. Dolphins versus Ravens. Both teams looked really good last week. Tua looked pretty good too. Lamar looked really good against the Jets. I mean, it's in Baltimore. That's kind of the thing that is always the home team usually has the advantage here. Lately, there's been this NFL stat that the home team doesn't have the advantage anymore. I don't really know. Ravens, Dolphins. Last time they played, the Dolphins won. That was in Miami, though. Lamar Jackson is pretty good. I'm going to take the Ravens on this one. Just play it safe with the home team. Give me Lamar. Give me the Ravens. Yeah. Next up, we have the Jets versus the Browns. Joe Flacco did not look good at all. In my opinion, I don't think he threw the ball a lot. He got a lot of yards. He was like top 10 in yards this past week or something like that, but like they didn't do anything with it. And really all that matters at the end of the day is whoever puts up the most points. So Jacoby Brissett was able to move the ball enough. I'll say that. And the Browns are 1-0. So I think I'm going to take Cleveland. I think I'll take Cleveland over the Jets. As much as I don't want to see Cleveland winning games after the Deshaun Watson debacle. Yeah, give me the Browns over the Jets. Next up, we have the Commanders versus the Lions. This, believe it or not, should be a good game. I think this will be a good game. And I'm going with the Lions. I'm just already, my heart is sticking with the Lions. I have a lot of faith in them this year. DeAndre Swift is, it's as of this Thursday morning, he missed practice yesterday. He's up in the air about playing. No one really knows what's going on there. Regardless, they have Jamal Williams. If they don't, Jamal Williams is pretty good too. Did vulture 2 touchdowns if you had DeAndre Swift in fantasy. Regardless, I have faith in the Lions. I really do. They looked really good against the Eagles, and the Eagles are supposed to be the Super Bowl caliber team. So give me the Lions. Give me the Lions over the Commanders. Next up, we have the winless Colts versus the winless Jaguars, but one team has a loss. See what I did there? The Colts have a tie. Fun fact, the Colts have not won in Jacksonville in 7 years. Give me the Jaguars. That's all I'm going to say. Next up, we have the Buccaneers. I think it's 7 years. I think it's 6 years, something like that. They didn't win. They had 5. I don't know. They haven't won there in a very long time. So I'm going with Jacksonville. Anyway, Bucks, Saints. For some reason, Tom Brady cannot beat the Saints. The last 4 years, they have lost every game to them, except for the playoff game, which mattered most, yes. But the regular season games, he just cannot win. No one knows why. No one knows. Give me the Saints. Give me the Saints over the Bucks. Jameis Winston, Michael Thomas. You have him fantasy, start him. I do have Jameis Winston in fantasy. I don't think I'm starting him though. But that's because I have Joe Burrow. If you have Jameis Winston over anyone else, you might want to start him. Next up, Panthers versus Giants. Battle of 2 top-tier running backs in Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey. Should be a good one. Should be a really good one. Should be a fun one. Both these teams were not expected to be as good. They tried to bring some pieces in and up and come each team. You got McCaffrey with Baker Mayfield now, and you have the new head coach, Brian Daboll, for the Giants. I'm going to take the Giants. I'm going to take them this time. In terms of which team is better, I think the Giants might be slightly better in this case. I just hope I'm not wrong. I don't know. I think they could win this game. I don't know. I'm very happy they won last week. That was a mind blow to me. But this one, they should beat the Panthers. They should be able to. That's how I see it. Anyway, I'm not gonna make this a Giants video. Next up, Steelers, Patriots. No TJ Watt. That's a huge loss for the Steelers. Huge loss. Patriots don't look good at all. Not good at all. I don't know what's going on there. Trubisky, he looked decent enough. He didn't turn the ball over as much as Joe Burrow did. Joe Burrow got to a Super Bowl last year, and Trubisky was riding the bench in Buffalo. So, I'm going to take the Steelers. I'm going to take the Steelers over the Patriots. That's right. You heard it here. Next up, Falcons, Rams. this is an interesting one. Falcons looked really good last week against the Saints. I mean, Young Ho Koo carried them, yes. Young Wei Koo, however you want. Young Wei Koo, I think it's how it's pronounced. And the Rams did not look good against the Bills at all. To be fair, it's the Bills, yes. Rams now had a whole week now, a little more than a week to prepare for the Falcons. Cordero Patterson looks so good, though. Like, I don't know what it is with him at running back on the Atlanta Falcons. He's been unstoppable. This is a tough one. I feel like I'd be stupid to take the Falcons. The Rams are the home team. They're the Rams. I can't. You gotta take the Rams. You got it. I have to take the Rams. As much as I don't want to, I would love to see the Falcons win this game. But I'm gonna take the Rams because they have to win, right? If they go 0-2, there's gonna be a lot of concern. A lot of concern there. But I'm gonna take the Rams. Next up, we got the Seahawks, and Geno Smith looked alright. Looked better than Russell Wilson enough to win the game against the 49ers. Trey Lance did not look so good. However, we can excuse weather for that, I think. There was very crappy weather in Chicago last week. No George Kittle either. Seattle's defense does look pretty good, though. They look pretty good. I'm going to take the 49ers, though. I think they're the better team all around. If George Kittle's expected to play, which is a huge turnaround, that's going to make a huge difference on the field in terms of run blocking and in terms of passing. So, and a safety blanket for Trey Lance. Whereas Seahawks, I mean, if their defense plays good and they win, good for them. Like, I would love to see the Seahawks team do good. Everyone was doubting them this year. And if they go 2-0, that's huge. Give me the Niners, though. I just think they're the better team. They should be the better team. They should win this game. On paper, they're like more... They're the better team. That's just how I see it. They're the better team. They should win this game. Next up, we got Bengals versus Cowboys with no Dak Prescott. Bengals don't have T. Higgins, though, but to be fair, who's more of an asset to their team? Dak Prescott's way more of an asset to their team than T. Higgins is to the Bengals. I'm not shitting on T. Higgins at all. I have T. Higgins on a fantasy team. It's just they have Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd and Joe Mixon and Joe Burrow. So, I mean, like, losing T. Higgins to a concussion isn't as bad as losing Dak Prescott for the Cowboys. Bengals did look really good, though. If they're kicked in and get blocked, they win that game against the Steelers, which is huge. So I'm going to take the Bengals over the Cowboys in this one. And it's not going to be clean. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be a disaster, in my opinion. Bengals are going to put up a bunch of points. That's my lock. I don't know if that's what we're doing now, if that's a thing. Next up, we have Texans versus Broncos. Two winless teams going at it because of the stupid fucking tie. Texans looked alright. Broncos looked okay. Javonte Williams looked really good for the Broncos. Texans, they just got a whole bunch of guys, yo. They just got a whole bunch of guys being dudes. And it was enough to get them into overtime against Matt Ryan and the Colts. I almost said Falcons. I came very close to saying Falcons. Matt Ryan and the Colts. And tie. It was good enough to tie. They didn't lose. Broncos lost. That sucks. Texans didn't. That's their positive going into the week. They didn't lose. Give me the Broncos, though. I just think they're the better... They should win this game, too, you know? Broncos should win this game. Just, like, if they lose, that's just like, alright. Now we gotta start predicting seriously. But, yeah, give me the Broncos over the Texans in this one. Next up, we got Cardinals-Raiders. And the Cardinals got shellacked last week. So did the Raiders. They both played really bad. Way below expectations. Both are playoff teams. last year. Cardinals got off to an incredible start last year. Then, who knows what happened. Raiders just clawed their way to the playoffs last year. Get Davante Adams, and then do that against the Chargers. That's your competition this year. That's going to be a tough climb now. I mean, both these teams should perform much better this week, in my opinion. I mean, if you look at tiers of like NFL teams right now, like the Chargers and the Chiefs are probably a higher tier than the Cardinals and the Raiders. Like one tier above them. So like maybe that's why. Like if we're tiering teams, I don't know if we're really tiering teams. Cause I mean like where do you put the Bills? Where do you put the Dolphins? They have the same record at the end of the day. Where do you put the Jets? Where do you put the Giants? I mean, like who's really the better team? You know, like are the Giants better than the Bengals because of their record? No, like it's hard to determine stuff like that. In this matchup, give me the Raiders. Give me the Raiders. Yeah, give me the Raiders. I'll take the Raiders over the Cardinals. It's going to be a close one. That's going to be a very close game, though. So keep an eye on that. Next up, we have Bears-Packers. This should be, hopefully, a good game, right? I mean, the Bears played pretty good last week. They had a good defense and stopped the 49ers pretty well. Again, weather. We're going to talk about the weather. Weather was kind of meh. Wasn't the best. So that might be why. The Packers, what happened there last week, no one really knows. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Packers should win this. Right? Right? I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I don't know. It's Aaron Rodgers and it's the Bears. He owns the Bears. He has stressed that the past year. I got to take the Packers in this one. I kind of have to. Taking the home team a lot in this week. I could tell. You could tell I'm taking the home team a lot. Except for... No, I'm taking the home team in every game. Except for the Bengals. It's the only one that I haven't. Interesting. A lot of home fans will be happy this week. Anyway, I just realized in this screenshot there's 2 Monday Night Football games. Don't know why that didn't come up in the screenshot, but the first one is the Titans and the Bills. Bills, easily. That's not a no-brainer. Lastly, I have to pull it up on my phone here because I just realized there's a second game and it's not on the screenshot. We got the Vikings and we got the Eagles. The Vikings-Eagles, that should be a really good game too. I'm going to take... The Eagles are the home team in this one. I'm going to take the Vikings. I'm taking the Vikings over this one. They looked really, really, really good. And I think they'll continue to be really, really, really good. And that's it. I don't know why the screenshot doesn't have the Vikings. It's a little bit of my fault, but I didn't see them on the screen when that came up. I don't know why there's 2 Monday Night Football games this week. Why wasn't it this week? This past week in week 1? Why wasn't that the 2 Monday Night Football games? There's 2 this week. I don't... Stupid. Anyway, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully we get some more people in the coming weeks. I tried to get some people in this week. It didn't really work out with the timing and whatnot. But we'll try again next week. Hopefully we get some people in for week 3. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.